So next final subtopic sa application sa DC is time rates. So for time rates, kani gajud ang pinaka-importante nga formula. Kani gajud sila tanan. So unlike sa minima maxima nga walay specific, usually more on cost, volume, area. So nganhi kana sila. You have to memorize that one. Okay, so if a quantity x is a function on time t, the time rate of change of x is given by dx over dt. When two or more quantities, all functions of t, are related by an equation, the relation between their rates of change may be obtained by differentiating both sides of the equation with respect to it. So, daghan naman tong variable involved ani na velocity, acceleration, discharge, ang angular speed, silang tanan atong with respect sa t or time, differential of time. So, that is all functions of t. Next, we have your steps in solving time rates. Identify what are changing and what are fixed. So, when you say changing, most probably mauna ang mga volume or depende kung moingon dito nga volume is changing. So, sabton dyan yung problem. But when you say fixed, of course, ang dimension na sa imong container, diba? Fixed man jud na. Next, assign variables to those and that are changing and appropriate value to those that are fixed. So, assign variables. Ikay bahala sa mga variables. Third, create an equation relating all variables and constants. And differentiate with respect to time. So, in solving problems under time rates, the following steps. So, another step. So, draw necessary figure, identify the rates, formulate the equation, and derive with respect to time. So, anyway, let's have an example na. So, water is flowing to a vertical cylindrical tank at the rate of 20 feet cube per minute. So, when you say Q, kaning bitang Q, kaning discharge, this is in terms of volume per time. So, manang cubic per minute or depende sa per second, depende sa problem. So, that is Q kanang 24. If the radius of the tank is 4, so kani dire, so therefore imong diameter is 8. How fast is a surface rising? So, na ako no kay nag-agas diri nga gripo, ang pangutana is how fast nagkataas ang tubig or nagkapuno ang imuhang container sa imuhang tubig. So, we're going to use the volume of the water. So, that is pi r squared times h. So, wala man ta, kay bawa man tadaan nga constant gajud ang radius. So, ato na siyang substitute tandaan kaning 4 squared. Ang h wata kay bawa. So, therefore natay ingani nga volume, di ba? So, mo nagiingon nga as long as naamoy mahibaw-an nga term or variable na value, imo jud nang ipuli. So, 4 squared may mo nang mahimo na ng 16 pi h ang imong volume. Now, one time himo after that, we are going to differentiate. So, differentiating it would give a 16 pi. Differential sa h is dh over dt. So, karon natay dv over dt diri because. So, differentiating this one with d over dt. So, mo na kani dire yun himo ning dv over dt. Okay? Remember, dv over dt is rate of volume. So, kaninang 24, di ba? So, imo nang i-substitute diha. So, 24 is equal to 16 pi dh over dt. And, shift solve na or 24 divided by 16 pi, you will have now your dh over dt. And the question is, how fast is the surface area rising? So, nagkasaka kuno ka, differential in height with respect to time. Mo ng dh over dt, therefore, imong gipangita, which is 0.477 feet cube per minute. Okay? So, let's proceed to second example. A triangular trough, 10 feet long, is 4 feet across the top and 4 feet deep. So, ingani gani nga nanatay triangular, nanatay volume, or volume na ta, make sure nga, kunyari nga complicated. Kaya ninyo imagine nun ang figure in a 3D and 2D. So, when I say 3D kani and 2D kani. So, para mas makita dyan ninyo ba? 4 feet wide, 4 feet wide. 4 feet deep, 4 feet deep. Okay? So, natay inflow at the rate of 3 feet cube per minute. Find how fast the surface area is rising when the water is 6 inches deep. So, naghatag man ta og height sa water nga 6 inches deep. Therefore, ngari na kaning height sa water niya diha or kanang y. Okay? So for us to get the volume of the water, that is kani nga formula, and then we're going to use this cross section. And remember, your cross section is in terms of triangle. Diba? Volume is area times height, diba? Or area times length, diba? Maura na. So, nganhi ang area sa ato, ang volume sa atong water, let's get first the area, that is 1/2 x base x times height nga y. So 1/2 xy. Tapos ang imuhang length is unsa man? Kani 10 feet long. So mo nang ingani ang imuhang volume. Okay? Okay? Then nanti sa ka equation. Tapos next, basta yung mga ingani gani, especially mga triangle bitaw guys. Usually mag-ratio and proportion ka ana. So by similar triangle, we're going to compare the same sa ganina, the bigger triangle with respect sa smaller triangle. So x sa smaller ko no is equal to sa bigger, kana ang length is 4, kani nga length is 4 ni, is equal to ang denominator na to nga y isang height, tapos sa bigger triangle that is ang iyahang 4 kani. Okay, so mo nang sa similar triangle ingani na porma. Tapos simplifying, that is simply x is equal to y. Okay, makancel man ang form himong 1, and then cross multiply x is equal to y. So now that you have that, we're going to substitute that sa ato ang value diri sa volume, di ba? So muna ang imuhang x muna tong y, munang na 5y squared ni. So wala na tayo mahimo after that, we're going to differentiate. So times the whole equation with d over dt. So d over dt is equal to 10 dy over dt. So kaniyang ato ang governing equation. So when the depth of water is 6 inches or 0.5 feet, ngano ato man ang in terms of feet, usa jud na sa inyong bantayan sa kaninga system. Kung naka-feet gani dapat in terms of feet, kung naka-inch dapat in terms of inch tanan pod. So kani feet man ta, so convert ang 6 inch into 0.5 feet. So ang imong dv over dt or ang imong rate is 3 feet daan. So mo nag-substitute diri, pero ganina ba nga 24. So times 10 is equal to 10 times 0.5 times dy over dt. So makakuha na ta sa value sa dy over dt. So that is your final answer. Next, number 3, let's have this problem. A ladder 20 feet long leans against a vertical wall. So ang imo kunong ladder is 20 feet long, tas kani ang imong vertical wall. How fast is the lower end? I find how fast the lower end is moving. So magka-slide man siya, unsa kuno iyahang speed padong dito nga side when it is 16 feet from the wall. Okay? So kung 16 feet from the wall na gani ang ladder, unsa ni iyahang speed? Okay. So nganhi triangle man na, let's use the equation of Pythagorean theorem. So x squared plus y squared is equal to the hypotenuse nga 20 squared. And then that is our equation nga basihan. We're going to multiply this one by d over dt na pod. So kabantay mo sa time rates mo silitag d over dt. So implicit differentiation ha. Okay. So 2x dx over dt plus 2y dy over dt. Then as minus gani divide na tug 2 ang duha atong lowest term mo ng x dx over dt kani plus y dy over dt is equal to 0. Karon naa man tay given diri daan nga naa kunoy ang ato ang ladder nag-slide downward at the rate of 2 feet per second. But remember ang given diha is 2 feet per second lang. Pero, og speed gani niya going down, always remember to put a negative sign. Okay? So, basta paubos, negative sign jud na. So, butangin jud ninjog negative. So, mo nang negative 2 na. Once wa na negative wrong, gajud ka. So, timan og sliding, put negative. So, i-substitute nimo ana, you will have here your first equation. You will have here this key equation rather. Okay. So, ingon man nga when x is equal to 16 feet from the wall. So 16 kalay So ato na siyang substitute diri sa ato ang kinaunhan nga equation. Kay naman tay given nga x. So naatay y kuno di ay nga 12 feet. And we're going to substitute that. So you will now have dx over dt of 1.5 feet per second. So ang imong gi-substitute diha nga y is equal to 12 gikan na sa kaning equation. Okay, so 16 and then dx over dt minus 2 tapos imong y nga 12. So mao na, so manali ang final answer. Okay? Okay, next.